Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I know this episode is just coming out of left field. I know people are all like, dang, bro, what you got against co-op games? It's nothing with the idea of the games. And the games that I will be mentioning, because one, Payday 2, I did play a lot of that. Helldivers 2, and I feel like there's another co-op game that I played where I'll think about it at some point in time, because I know if I get caught up, I'm gonna get the rambling and stuff. But no, man, I wanted to talk about how co-op games be having some toxic players, and Payday 2 and Helldivers 2, I would say that those are the two games that I've had the most, dealt with the most. Oh, and Destiny. Destiny is the other game. So let me just write these three games down in my notepad thing to make sure I don't at least don't forget Destiny. But anyways, but no, overall though, I've put a lot of hours into each video game. Payday 2 being the first co-op game that I played, and I wanted to start off talking about that. I wanted to start off talking about my history with that game. So I remember when that game, it came out, I think it was maybe a few months before Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't know when exactly it came out on PC. I know Payday, the heist, that was like, I think maybe 2 years before, like 2011 or something like that. But yeah, Payday 2, when that game came out, I remember because I'd never heard of a bank robbery game. I never heard of a game where you're just going around doing heist missions and stuff. So I was hooked on the idea of that game. I'm like, oh, 100% I'm playing that game. And then yeah, at the time, because I wasn't really playing on PC and stuff. So I had an Xbox 360, went ahead, copped it on there. Well, when I mean my parents did, because I didn't have no funds to my name. I was a broke high school kid and stuff. So anyways, but no, overall though, Payday 2 comes out. I feel like if I've been saying Payday 3, my apologies. But anyways, but yeah, Payday 2 comes out. I never really had played too many co-op based games. I think the only game that I can possibly think of where they had a co-op mode in there, I believe it was Modern Warfare 3 at the time. And so not new Modern Warfare 3, old Modern Warfare 3, because this is going back some years. And so, yeah, I did mention Xbox 360, so I think it's safe to say that, yeah, it was, some years ago, So, but anyways, that was the only knowledge I really had of co-op games. And I feel like even then I still kind of had dealt with, because, yeah, Call of Duty is just one big toxic. So I feel like that I can't really include that into the list of toxic co-op games, but honorable mention. Let's just say that, But anyways, Payday 2 comes out. I don't really have too much knowledge when it comes to co-op games. I play that game, and yeah, I'll admit, I was having fun at first. Then I started joining in on lobbies where people would just instantly kick you out based off of your character's appearance. Now, for those that don't know, when playing Payday 2, I guess like if you're unfamiliar with that game, so you pretty much level up your character to unlock different weapons, or I guess like at least get the money to buy different weapons. I think they had like a perk tree stuff. It's been some time since I've sat down and was really locked in on playing Payday 2, so I don't remember everything that I need to remember, but I do remember that it's one of those games where you have to unlock a lot of different things. So my thing is this, right? One of the main things that I was looking forward to when playing that game was unlocking the like the full armor suit, because I was like, okay, it's gonna be a lot difficult for the cops to, because you don't die in that game, they just knock you down. So it's gonna be a lot difficult for the cops to knock me down. I'm using this suit as much as I possibly can, but yeah, people, they wanted to just go in there, I guess, like, and that's the thing. If we're talking, because this was before I was really into content creating, this was at a time when I was sitting down and talking with people, and it was all the way back then. People wasn't all that communicating and stuff. They didn't communicate like how now, like people be communicating. They're all like, hey, you got a mic, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you hear it, but it wasn't often and stuff. So, but anyways, so you'll go into the game. I don't know what these guys' game plan is. Nobody is not talking. So I go into the game and then, get kicked out. And I'm thinking to myself, what's going on? Why am I getting kicked out? Why is it that it's left up to the player to kick the person out? I'm saying if there's something that needs to be done on my part, then let me know. But I'm saying I'm not playing this game to have it where I constantly keep getting kicked out of the lobbies and stuff. So yeah, eventually at some point in time, I mean, Grand Theft Auto 5 did come out shortly afterwards. So yeah, I wasn't really playing as much of Payday 2. I had to say it wasn't until I got into PC gaming that's when I went ahead and started back playing Payday 2. And I mean, it was mainly dealing with people like modifying and hacking the game and stuff. You couldn't really play on. I mean, it was a co-op game. You didn't really need to play a whole lot. I guess like you wasn't really dealing with people more so ruining your game and stuff. You just join in and people was mine. So I didn't really play it as much once when I realized that, because I was like, fam, these games are easy now. Like, I don't even really have to do any things and stuff. So, but maybe they might have patched it. I don't know. But overall, yeah, I just remember dealing with a lot of different hackers and stuff. Like, just having it where I'm like, okay, I think I'd rather, try my luck on joining games and figuring out, like, okay, am I going to be able to play this game and play it, how it's supposed to be played, rather than people hacking and modifying the game and stuff. So, and then Destiny 2 came out. So, or not Destiny 2, Destiny 1 had came out. Destiny 2 was a little bit, I didn't really deal with a whole lot of people when it came to Destiny 2 and stuff, but overall though, yeah, Destiny came out. Now, this was a game that I would say that, even though Payday 2, that was a game that captured my attention, Destiny was the game that made me into a co-op fan. That was the game where I'm like, okay, I want to have that same experience with this co-op game and that co-op game and stuff. So anyways, Destiny came out. I was playing a lot of that game. Luckily, thank God I had friends to play that game with, but there were days where I wasn't playing that game with friends. So anyways, it did get to a point though where I had started doing the strike missions, because yeah, you have to like do the missions and eventually you're capable of doing the strike missions. So I do remember doing some strike missions where I started noticing a pattern with one player, and that's the thing where I'm like, I don't understand, if you go out and buy a game, I think everybody's intentions when they go out and buy a game is to play it, right? Now, let's just put this in perspective. Now, imagine if you joined my stream and I'm not playing a video game. I got the stream on. I bought the video game. I got the console. I got the Xbox membership, PlayStation membership, or the subscription service to play the game online. And I'm just sitting there, not doing nothing. It's not like I'm away from my computer or console or whatever. I'm just sitting there not doing nothing, just so I could get the XP in the game and stuff. I hate that with a passion. I'm gonna just let you know that right now. I hate that with a passion. If you go out and you buy a video game, play it. That's it. That's all you have to do. So that's what it was. It was I think it's the first strike mission that you do in Destiny 1, the Cosmodrome strike mission, where you go up against a bunch of Fallen, and then there's like that round boss enemy that you go up against at the very last part of the mission. I believe that was also Fallen. So, but anyways, it was that mission where I started noticing players were just wandering off into different areas of like the fighting areas that you would be at, and they just be standing in the corner not doing nothing. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you went out and you paid, because I think the game was like $39.99 or however much it cost, but then on top of that, then there was the membership, the Xbox Live Gold or something. Yeah, it was Xbox Gold that you had to pay, so that was another $59.99, or if you're buying the 1 month thing. But either way, regardless, you're paying for the membership. No. Let's just put this in perspective, right? Full grown adult. You got a house. The house got electricity. You got a TV. You got an Xbox. You got Xbox Live Gold. You got Destiny. You got a chair. You got a table. Whatever and all this other stuff. You went out and bought this whole setup to play video games, to sit there and go AFK. Please explain to me how that makes sense. And so I remember the guy had did that. And there was it was frequent. And so there was one day where the guy was doing that, and I messaged him. I was like, "Hey, bruh, play the game. Like, that don't make no sense. If you ain't gonna play the game, then leave. But it's like, don't be out here wasting our time and making our, I guess the mission more difficult for us. And you just sitting here not doing nothing. It would be helpful if you actually did something." And he's all like, "I'm just here to get the XP." So then that's why I messaged the other player, and I'm like, no. don't do nothing because this guy don't want to do nothing. We gonna stand in the corner too. If you gonna stand in the corner and not do nothing, then we gonna stand in the corner and not do nothing. And sure enough, me and that guy, we went over to the same corner that the other player was at, and we stood there and we waited. And I think the enemies, they did come in there and they started shooting at us and all that other stuff. And then eventually he started playing it, but he did the same thing all over again. I think I eventually ended up leaving because I was like, nah, bro, you're not even playing the game. So it's like, now you ain't gonna have no choice, because it's like, if this guy keep dying, it's like, y'all ain't gonna never be able to progress and stuff. I'm not gonna do nothing. But my thing is this though, why buy the game if you ain't gonna play it? And I really do wish, like, and I guess if they come out with another Payday game, have it where players can't kick other players out of the game. You know, you're locked in, whatever armor, whatever stuff that you have, it's like you locked in with that stuff. Now they should have a preference thing where it's like, would you prefer with players that play with this set of armor, these weapons, play in this style and that style, like, or have it where there's like, okay, there's the stealth missions, there's the loud and proud missions, so at least then, you know, we ain't being forced to play on how another person want to play the game and stuff. And then with Destiny, I'm like, no, if a player has gone AFK and they ain't moving, they ain't did nothing, and it's like, at least it should be a thing where we report the person, and then yeah, you know, if they've been just sitting, if like there should be like some sort of bot or something where it can detect if they just sitting there for long periods of time not doing nothing and they're not getting any kills, then they automatically get kicked out of the game. It's funny how, like, it should have been the other way around. You know, I feel like that it should have been where in Destiny, there's a leader in the game. And then, yeah, because I'm telling you right now, if I had control of kicking players out in Destiny, bro would have got kicked out as soon as I seen him go AFK. I'm like, nah, bro, you ain't gonna sit here and play this game and not do nothing. That don't even make no sense. So, but anyways, so yeah, eventually it did get to a point where I wasn't really playing Destiny anymore. Or at least, like, I was playing it more so with friends, you know, I wasn't really playing it, and I had to say it was games like that made me not want to play with randoms anymore. So yeah, then eventually, Helldivers 2 came out, and yeah, I think we all seen how it was when Helldivers 2 came out. Game was buggy, it was all, you know, messed up and stuff, but I decided to give that game a chance. I was like, nah, man, you know, I see high hopes for this game. I think it's gonna be a good game, you know. It did kind of break me out of that whole, like, you know, not liking video games, because they got like weird looking insects in there. And I remember I think it was a streamer that I joined and was talking about the game with them, and they was like, oh yeah, it's optional, like you ain't got to do those the insect missions and stuff, you could just go up against the robots. So it was funny because, like, when they very first have you start off the game, they have it where you kill the insect enemies during the tutorial mission. Then when I was playing it, I was all like, you know, that's not even all that bad. You know, I'm like, nah, because sometimes in video games, like, developers like to just make insects just way too creepy and stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, like, you know, if I could just talk on that real quick, I'm like, is that the only enemy types that y'all know about in, like, games like aliens? I mean, like, at least with them, they have it set up where there's, like, robots, like, there's, you know, again, you don't have to go up against them and stuff. They do have, like, because they got, like, now they're, like, them zombie-like enemies and stuff, and then they have the robot, but they have, like, different variants of them and stuff. And so, like, the zombie alien enemies and Helldivers and things. So, but I feel like that there are other games out there where it's like they don't even do that. They just have it set up where it's like, yeah, we just gotta randomly for some reason have insect enemies in the game. And I'm like, it gets to a point where I'm like, I'm confused by it, because there's so many different types of, have human enemies, have robot enemies, alien enemies. I'm saying some, like, a ghost, something where it's like it ain't just the same. Because there'll be times where I'll be looking at a trailer for a video game and then they just got some giant insect that I'm like, where does this fit place in this story? Did you guys just randomly throw that in there, or is there like a reason for this stuff? Like, can you give me a backstory on why the insects belong in this game, and then maybe I'll play it. But if not, then it's like, bruh, you know, like, it's crazy how, like, you see a lot of different games out there where you fight up against insects, but you can't play against insects. I feel like that there are no games out there where you get to play as an insect. I'm like, yeah, I would love to play as a giant spider, but to have it set up where it's like I'm constantly fighting them, I'm like, bro, it gets to a point where I'm like, am I playing the same game or am I playing something different, you know? But with that, you know, conversation being pushed to the side, so I started playing a little bit more of Helldivers. I decided to give that game a chance. Helldivers 2, I should say. I never played the first Helldivers. But anyways, no, overall, though, I started playing more of Helldivers 2. And that was the one thing that I did not understand about how they went about that game, is that the game is PvE. It's a PvE design game. So that means that you're going up against NPCs, the computer, or, you know, you're not going up against other people that are also playing the game. But they have it set up where other people can kill you. And that's why I'm so confused, because I'm like, why do you guys have it set up that way? Why is it that, like, was that like a flawed design? Did you guys mess up? Because if so, fix that. I'm not trying to have it where I'm in the middle of doing a mission, and then my teammate just, I just feel like killing this guy. I can ruin the game for him and stuff. So today I'm playing the game, and this is the whole main motivation behind this podcast episode. So today I'm streaming it. I'm going to this area because I noticed that there is this, because they have it set up where when there's things that you need to pick up, like metals and more so the metals and stuff, they'll have like this flashing light to let you know, like that's where the metals is at. I started running to that area first. The other guys were just standing around not doing nothing. So they were just running around in circles and things, shooting at the enemies that spawn. So I figured, okay, they're doing their thing. I'm going to go over here and get this metal. I'm running there to go get the metal. This guy, for some odd reason, decides to shoot. I don't know whether it was a rocket launcher, but it was some weapon. It didn't, like, do damage, but it slingshot me, like, not really across the map, but across the area that we were at. I allowed my anger to get the best of me, and I opened fire on bro. Because, yeah, it's things like that where I'm like, look, bruh, if you wanted to get this metal, you guys was in this game for a while. Y'all should have been done got that metal. I'm saying, to me, that just don't make no sense. You're running around just trying to shoot all the different robots that's spawning in, but you're not trying to capture them. You're not trying to progress to the next mission. They wasn't even in the mission area. They just kept running around in circles doing whatever, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if there's like some new exploit in Helldivers where it's like you're supposed to be doing stuff like that, but that's not the reason why I bought that game. I bought that game to play it how the game is designed. The exploits, the glitches, the, you know, bugs, to where it's like, oh, you can bypass through different things and get all this XP. I don't be playing games for that reason. I learned my lesson with Grand Theft Auto 5 because, yeah, that was big, like figuring out exploits. They probably people still to this day be doing stuff like that. All like, oh, here's the, you know what? And let's just look it up real quick. Let's just look it up and see if they still be doing Grand Theft Auto 5 glitches and stuff. Because I feel like back then you were constantly seeing glitches in that game. Hold on for a second. Let's just see. Yep, people are still doing it. Somebody just uploaded a video 11 days ago talking about 5 GTA glitches in 5 minutes. Then, yeah, did somebody or 10 solo glitches 3 months ago? Yeah, people, they still be doing glitches, and it's one, or no, actually, let's actually look it up, money, because I think some of those are kind of like that swing set glitch. Yep. Okay, so I looked up GTA money glitches. And 2 days ago, somebody's like, easiest solo ways to make millions now in GTA 5. And I'm thinking to myself, this is a game that came out 13 years ago. Can y'all just play the game? Like, it's funny because, I don't know, maybe this might be for console players, but it's like, the game, if you're playing it on PC, you literally can mod the game to have it where you can have whatever car you want, whatever clothes you want. Like, fam, I'm seeing people driving around in Dodge Chargers with Supreme clothing in Grand Theft Auto 5. The PC version, I should say. I don't know. They should add like a mod situation to I guess to console. Hopefully they might do it with Grand Theft Auto 6, but if not, then it's like, bruh, people just play the game how the game is designed. But that's even going back to the conversation with Helldivers 2. Play the game how the game is designed, all right? But if you just gonna constantly just be trying to ruin the game for other players, stop playing co-op games. But no, it got to a point where I was all like, I don't even want to play the game. So after I had shot and killed the guy, then he decides to get into this like, because they have like these like transformer like things, and then yeah, he just started chasing me with the transformer. He eventually killed me, and I'm like, if you want to act like something is mentally wrong with you when playing the game, to me that just don't even make no sense. It's like, here it is, we can actually be progressing and going through with the mission. All you just want to do is kill your teammates. And that's why I'm like, games like that, you either need to change it to where you can't do that or add some PvP stuff in the game. But I do not like co-op games that are designed to where it's just, there's players that just have way too much power in the game. From, you know, Payday having it where you could kick people, Destiny having it where you could go AFK and then you can't do nothing about that person, and then Helldivers just wanting to have it where there's just nothing but toxic. All these games, I feel like the majority of co-op games have toxic players. I have to say the only game that I can think of where it was co-op and it was like a true co-op, not no Helldivers type co-op. No, it was a true legitimate co-op game where you can't kill nobody. Is Gray Zone Warfare. That's a video game, so it's an extraction survival shooter game, but the amount of times where somebody has helped me with a mission or I've helped somebody else with a mission and we just go and be clearing out areas and stuff, I'm saying, like, Gray Zone Warfare, if you're looking for a good co-op experience, and I know people are gonna probably be all like, oh, you always be promoting Gray Zone Warfare, you a Gray Zone Warfare fan, call it what you want, but at the end of the day, I have to say that is the best part. Hopefully people don't be trying to find no exploits or no ways of ruining the game for others in Gray Zone, but I mean, yeah, because they do have like the warfare mode, which is PvPvE, where you can actually go up against other people and stuff, but yeah, other than that, I'm like, yeah, bro, Gray Zone Warfare, that's the one game where it has a co-op option, and it's not even like a true legitimate co-op. It's just like, yeah, you might be in the same area as somebody else, and then you guys just kind of, just let each other know, like, hey, I got your back, you got mine. Because no, it's funny. So, one of the last few times I had played Gray Zone Warfare, there's this area where they want me, I don't know, I will say that that's the downfall to Gray Zone Warfare, is the way that they go about missions in there. They tell you to look pretty much for, you're looking for a needle in a haystack. And so, no, me and this guy, we went to this area where he was just some random person. I don't even know who that guy was. But anyways, I don't even think we were in the same faction. That's the funny thing. So they got like 3 different factions in the game. This guy is in a completely separate faction. We showed up to the same area at the same time, and we were just going around killing everybody that was there. And so I don't know. I think he might have did his mission, and then he went on about his business. I couldn't complete mine because I don't know where the mission, I guess like where it's supposed to, the object that they're having me look for, I don't know where it's at. So I just was all like, okay, I'll just take the XP for killing the guys that were there, and then yeah, just going about my business. But yeah, man, it's like, there's just some co-op games out there where it's like, it's, either the devs don't go about it in the right way, or the players just make the game toxic to where it's like you don't even want to play the game no more. So be cautious of the games that I mentioned. I mean, Destiny 2, I don't really be seeing people doing that, but I'm pretty sure there are people that still are doing it. Payday 3, because that's the latest Payday game, so I know you're probably all like, wait, there's Payday 3, what about that? You actually can play, so Payday, that is one game where you can play with NPC teammates. I wish it was the same thing with Destiny and Helldivers, but yeah, for some reason the devs, they want to add stuff in there that, requires us to give us money, but they don't want to give us different ways of playing the game. Weird, but anyways, but yeah, Payday, both 2 and 3. I don't know if Payday the Heist, because I didn't really play that much of Payday the Heist, but Payday 2 and 3, they do have it where you can have NPC teammates and stuff. So if you are worried about that, you can play with them and things. I think the only downfall to it though is that they can't so when you're robbing a bank in that game, and then you have it set up where they take a bag, they can't put the bag in the van, so you have to like take the bag off of them. So you're kind of holding their hand in a way. And I'm like, I don't know why they have it set up that way. Hopefully, I don't know if they do plan on doing a Payday 4. I think because what's so crazy, they came out with Payday 3, but they're still doing stuff with Payday 2. I'm confused by that. And then Destiny, yeah, if you want to get into Destiny right now, I don't recommend it because Bungie, they pretty much closed up shop on Destiny. So. And then Helldivers, I'm like, yeah, that game, I just think, because I wonder what the player count is with that game right now. Helldivers it ain't really being talked about like how it was back then. Back then, I feel like a lot of people were playing it a lot, but now it just seems like it's kind of, yeah, it's I think it's safe to say that the game fell off. It currently right now there's 26,000 people playing it on Steam. There was a 37,000 players was playing it in the 24-hour peak, and then 2.3 years ago they had 458,000 people playing the game. So yeah, they haven't really. I think they did come out with some update where it kind of explored different areas with the robot enemies, but other than that, there isn't really a whole lot going on with the conversation with Helldivers right now. So, but if you want to get into any of those games, be my guest. Just feel like I must warn you, the fan base, it's a little bit toxic. So, but anyways, talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service, and peace.